Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you... Wait, why did it pause? Anyways, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game number 4 in this best of 5 series. Liquid Hero spawning on the top left hand side of the map as the red Protoss player. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right, we do have Ryung spawning as the blue Terran. This is best of 4 in this series. I don't want to give away anything. If you guys haven't watched the previous games, go ahead and watch them as they are extremely entertaining, even though this replay is somewhat of an oldie but a goodie. Now, I always enjoy watching high-level players play StarCraft at a very high competitive level, as we're looking at Ryung now making his way down. What exactly is he doing with this SCV? Gonna go ahead and set up a supply depot here on the front door. Aquilon Waste, one of those maps that was very, very popular back in the day. I believe since then it has now been removed from the BattleNet ladder map pool, but this replay is taken back from, I believe, June or July, so both of these players should be very, very familiar with it. Now, as we're looking at the game unfold, we'll see whether or not Ryung, yes, he is going to be setting up that front door barracks, making sure to prevent any zealots from running in. Meanwhile, we are looking at Hero setting up that gateway, and this is going to be turning into a little bit of a delayed economic game. I believe both of these teams will be teching. Both of these races want to go ahead and make sure they don't fall behind in terms of tech and in terms of the power of their units, which means that they will be delaying their command center and their nexus. And their nexus down over here at their natural expansions. As everything is going to unfold though, and because of this delay of game, we are going to have a little bit of downtime before we get straight into the action. We can see that Hero is going for that double assimilator build with only 2 probes on each gas. The reason behind this is no diminishing returns on those gas, and also he wants to try and get still a lot of minerals. By waiting until he has 16 probes on minerals and then transferring to gas, he ensures that he is not going to be falling behind all too much in terms of the overall mineral economy. We are looking at a reactor now being built, and Ryung, curiously enough, has yet to place down a command center. With this early reactor though, he could very, very easily double train up Reapers and send them out across the map. Double training up of Reapers does work out fairly well, as the Reaper normally costs, I believe, 45 seconds to build, and a reactor the reactor also costs 50 seconds to build. So by building the reactor first and then adding in those Reapers, you are essentially delaying 5 seconds worth of build time to have an extra reactor. As opposed to just trying to build 2 Reapers back to back. That probe will be forced to retreat here, as we are already going into some more probes being trained up. I am surprised. Nope, there's the mothership core. The mothership core very instrumental in dealing with that early Reaper harassment. Those Reapers unable to get away from that mothership core. And really, Blizzard did a good job of making sure that this early game tactics does work out all right. You can see that the Zealot is taking a lot of damage in the back right there. However, the Mothership Core will arrive, and now the Reapers are going to be doing a bit of a retreat. The Mothership Core, however, is a bit slower than the rest of the units, and what are we going to be seeing here? The Mothership Core could try to rest right here, and now there is some early shots there. The Reaper looks like it can get taken down. There it goes. A beautiful time warp. Oh my goodness, down to 2 hit points, but that Reaper is able to escape. Let's take a look at the total losses. 50 resources versus 100. That Reaper will slowly regenerate back up to full hit points here, but the damage was dealt. Both sides did do a little bit of scouting, but no one really that much better than the other right now. Marines heading down to perhaps this bunker over here. The Mothership Core should not be able to do very much, as we see a little bit of a strange maneuver by Hero. Hero is actually going into a Stargate and a robotics facility at the same time. This is something that most Protoss players don't do, as it is a bit risky. You end up spending a lot of additional resources on infrastructure without any early units. And without those early units, you can fall behind rather quickly. The Reaper quickly going to get shot down there. It looks as though a force field pushes the Reaper away. Beautifully done once more as Hero comes out ahead. He is now sitting at 200 resources lost versus 50. We are looking at a Stargate. We are getting up an additional gateway. The robotics facility, as I mentioned, wasn't training anything because there is so much invested into this infrastructure. Now, is Hero going to once again go very heavy into this Oracle, perhaps Phoenix play that we saw moments ago? Marines now getting some target practice against that Mothership Core. That Mothership Core did cast a Time Warp right there, but those Marines already out of it. And now Liquid Heroes Mothership Core may try to make a move. Meanwhile, on the far side, you can see that the Oracle was actually used as an offensive unit or a defensive unit to try to take down these Marines. The Oracle did take a bit of damage, and now a second Oracle being added. Oracle's mechanical units in the Protoss army cannot be repaired. Probes do not have the ability to repair mechanical buildings at all. So this Oracle will stay at 22 hit points throughout the rest of the game until it is finally killed. We are now looking to see what's going to be the follow-up plan. Ryung has not started his command center yet, instead investing very heavily into his marine bio infrastructure. You can see a reactor already being placed down on top of that starport, and oh, there goes the Mothership Core. Pretty much shot down before any real damage was dealt, and we're now looking at perhaps the Stalkers trying to charge their way up. There is one Widow Mine right there, as the Observer does spot this. That is very important that the Observer can spot that there. The Widow Mine is going to try and run away. Is it going to be able to make it? Yes, it does. Beautifully placed, as Ryung now backing off with this Widow Mine right there, as we are now looking at a Marine who just got sliced and diced. Now, double Oracles in the backfield. Over here looking to get in more shots. There is a Widow Mine right there. You have to be very careful. Oh, there it goes. There goes another Oracle there. That Oracle does have a little bit of energy left, but it should get depleted. Widow Mines by Ryung used very effectively to prevent any sort of harassment. And now Ryung is just going to sit back and slowly macro up a large number of bio units with 1-0 upgrades. However, he is going to be going up against 1-1 upgraded Zealots, Sentries, and Stalkers, but there is still no sign of any Colossus. The Oracle still wandering around here, down to 160 hit points, or down to no energy, as the Oracles just does a little bit of a flyby there. The Marines are going to get healed back up, and it looks as though Ryung wants to push out while he has a superior tech advantage. The Medivacs, the Marines, the Marauders are very, very strong, especially when they have stim. They are able to just charge in there, get in a lot of damage. Hero does not have that many sentries on the field, so force field will have to be very, very close, as we do have a hallucinated Colossus joining in on the fight. That is a very important hallucination right there, as it will make Ryung think twice about his engagements. The Zealot now trying to get away. The Marines and the Marauders are slowly catching up to him, and that Zealot will get taken down as he is returned once more. The scanner sweep does reveal that it is an hallucination as opposed to a real unit. And now Ryung knows to perhaps ignore that Colossus. We are looking at a double medevac drop now coming into play as well. 2 medevacs coming back as well. We are looking at 1 Marine doing a little bit of a fallback here, as there is an Observer in position. All right, the medevacs, are they going to find a bit of an opening? There are Zealots with a photon cannon about to warp in. The timing on this could be very, very close. It looks like the photon cannon will get completed in time, as the Afterburners now coming in. All right, there you go. The Marauders and the Marines are dropping down. It looks as though the medevac is going to go ahead and heal up that poor Marine there, as there is the charge. A little bit of a counterattack. Hero knows that he cannot try and retreat with all these units. They are on the wrong side of the field, as the Zealots. There's a photon overcharge onto the Nexus, as we are now looking to snipe down the units there. There is a time warp. There's some feedback, and now the medevacs are in a bit of trouble. They may just simply try to run away. Are we going to perhaps get healed? And now what's going to be happening next? Yes, go ahead and retreat there. Both sides taking a bit of losses, as the orbital command is already completed. Meanwhile, the Nexus has now been placed down by Hero. Both sides taking up 3 bases at just nearly the right moment, as Ryung needs to be careful and figure out what to do with these medevacs. Those medevacs are low on energy, meaning they are not going to do too much for the Marines and the Marauders on the ground. Another feedback could completely neutralize them in just a moment. Archon now looking their way off to the north. Are they going to find the medevacs? And oh, the medevacs smartly pick themselves up and leave at just the right moment. However, an observer does catch this medevac doing a bit of a flyby here. We are getting more medevacs and Marauders and Marines here as well at the Zelnaga Tower to the north, as Ryang safely defends this 3rd base location by bringing down those destructible rocks. All right, medevac has to be extremely careful again. Let's take a look at this. What is happening next? Is it just going to be a straight drop into the main here? The mothership core is right there. It could catch all of these units here in just a moment. 2 Marines now trying to focus down that mothership core. However, the Zealots are all there already. Let's go ahead and take down a couple of easy units. Medevacs now pulling back again as this massive bioforce, which surprisingly almost has as many medevacs as Marauders. No, it looks as though, yes, there are finally more Marauders joining up with the rest of the group, as now there is a Warp Prism drop inside the 3rd base. Warp Prism drop means that you also have a Warp Prism warp in. Marauders and Hellbats joining in on the fight, and the Hellbats are doing a lot of damage to these Zealots. Very, very effective cone right there. It looks like another one will get taken down. Meanwhile, Hero now bringing in the hammer from the other side, perhaps trying to go for that killing blow. I don't believe this is going to be altogether that successful, as the rocks right now are acting as a little bit of a timer to buy. Marines and Marauders are in position. The rocks look like they will get taken down. There is plenty of medevacs here. The Zealots are now looking to just straight up charge in. There's the Marauders and the Marines. There is no Psystorm. Are we perhaps going to get some force fields? Yes. 3 force fields there, as the rest of the Marauders are just going to get into a really bad position. Zealots now trying to finish off some of those SCVs. Those force fields will not hold forever, as now the retreat is coming in. There is the Observer now coming in off to the north, sees what everything's going on here. There's the Guardian Shield. We could get some force fields, but not enough. Needed 2 force fields right there. Only had energy for 1 after the Guardian Shield, as the sentries are going to get taken down by those Hellbats. No, the Immortals quickly switch targets over, and 1 3 hit point Immortal may be able to escape. That could be some bad news. The Sentry, is it going to be able to place down a force field? No, it is not. This Immortal very low on hit points. The Stalkers are right there. They're chasing after the Immortal, but now chasing a bit too far as the Colossus come back the other way. Medevacs, Marauders, Marines all in position again. We are still seeing on 3 bases the 3 Marauders now in this group here, doing a little bit of stutter stepping, now trying to pull back. Are they going to be able to perhaps hit a couple of these key bases? The Marauders are now dropping from the sky and sniping down many of these probes. All right, it looks like as though a couple of Zealots may get taken down. Oh, a beautiful feedback by Hero, taking down that poor medevac. Marauders and Marines trying to engage. No, not able to use their stim packs altogether that successfully. You can see the Marauders and the Marines trying to get within target range there. The Colossus doing a little bit of stutter stepping as well, but a Viking on the move should be able to get these kills here. Stalkers now warping in, and that Viking is in retreat once more. Medevacs, both sides still playing this very strongly, as the Viking does get taken down. Another Viking, 2 Vikings now on the field here. Is it going to be enough? I don't believe so. Not a critical number of Vikings to really deal enough damage to those Colossus, while the Colossus are just shredding apart all these Marauders and Marines. 3 Colossus now on the field. I call that back. Only 2 Colossus now on the field, but Hero is not letting up on this pressure at all. You can see that there is a slight supply advantage for Ryung. Ryung now able to push back a large number of units, and this is where you have to be careful. Hero did warp in a handful of High Templar who were able to sit there for quite some time. That is 4 Psystorms, and now those Marauders and Marines have to be extremely careful. Are we going to see Psystorm coming in? There is a Psystorm there, and now we could see another Psystorm there. The Marauders and the Marines trying to continue to push their way through another Psystorm, and that is a lot of damage. Very effective trading, as the Archon's now going to get taken down. All right, a new wave of High Templars are in position, but they do not have enough energy yet. The Vikings going to snipe down another, that last one Colossus, and this is now bad news. The Marauders and the Marines trying to bring their over. The Zealots putting their body in harm's way, trying to stop this attack here as another round of Zealots now come in. All right, there is a Side Storm there. It looks as though the Marauder will get taken down. There is now 2 High Templars left. They finally have enough energy. And are we going to see some Psy Storm again? Yes, it is raining Psy. I guess it is raining Psy all over the place. But Ryung really coming back strong here. And it looks like he's going to be able to even up this series, forcing a Game 5 in this best of 5. A 50 supply advantage. He's finally broken through that continuous wave after wave of Terran bio units. Simply too much. And now, oh, there is that High Templar with a lot of energy, and it does get sniped down there, unable to cast multiple Side Storms. There is a Time Warp, but that was not well positioned at all. Not quite sure what was going on there. As we're now looking at the Vikings engaging, it looks as though the 3rd base will get taken down. Mothership Core now sniped down once more. The Vikings are gonna take a little bit of damage here. The Marauders and the Marines are not nearby enough to really protect them. But it feels like wave after wave from Ryung may be able to finally break the line of hero. Zealots are getting into position here, but this is going to be a war on 2 fronts. The Vikings going after the Colossus, the Stalkers now pushing back the Vikings again, but Ryung is not really grouping his units all together. He's making sure to minimize the amount of splash damage here. He is just surrounding all of these units and crushing them one at a time. 2-to-1 battles, 3-to-1 battles against all of Hero's units, and now the GG should be coming in. A 90 supply difference. Probes coming off the mineral line to join in on the fight, but I believe it is too little, too late, as there is now an even series. Hero losing Game 4. Ryung all tied up at we are all tied up, excuse me, at 2 games apiece. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.